Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. Broker I trade on is Quotex. I will leave for you registration link in the description box. Please do not forget to subscribe to my channel, put a big thumbs up and leave a comment. Thank you. I will really appreciate this. Let's get started. Today we will trade using the Parabolic Sar indicator. This indicator belongs to the class of trend indicators. It was created in order to tell the trader the position forecast point. Thus, using this indicator, we can identify trend reversal points. Also, this indicator suggests which trends prevail in the market. Also, do not forget that Parabolic Sar indicator is an auxiliary tool for technical analysis. Therefore, first of all, I pay attention to the levels of resistance and support, carried out by technical analysis, and only then pay attention to the hints of this indicator. So friends, let's get started. In order to connect this indicator, I press this button in the left corner. A list of indicators will get open in front of us. Select Parabolic Sar from the list. All settings are left by default. You can also choose any color you like and make this indicator a little bigger, it's better visible. Now we can see on our chart the Parabolic Sar indicator. The signal for opening a deal is the moment when, for example, when dots appeared on the bottom of our chart. This tells us that the price will rise in the near future. Also, when dots are getting closer to our chart, there is a candle's touch. This in turn signals that a reversal is expected in the near future and the price will fall for some time. Accordingly, the dots will appear above our chart in the near future. At this point, you can open a deal for a decrease, but I will give you advice. Do not open a deal in an uptrend. That is, with an uptrend, it is worth waiting for the dots on the bottom of our chart and open a deal for an increase along the trend. Such an entry would be considered more certain. Also, you can open a deal when several points have already appeared. Each entry point changes individually and depends on the market situation. I think that in our trading today all the situations will happen and you will be able to see it. So be sure to watch this video till the end. This is an opportunity to get useful information. I also want to remind you that you shouldn't trust only one indicator because the Parabolic Sar indicator, like any other indicators, has its own errors and only a competent combination of technical analysis plus an indicator gives you good results. So let's start looking at the first situation. We see the level of support. We also see that there was a good certain downside movement here. The price touched the beginning of the support zone and pulled up. We also pay attention to the price highs. They become lower. Thereby, there is a certain compression. Also, at the moment, our indicator suggests that there is an entry point for a decline. I suggest opening a deal for 2 minutes. I think that in the near future, the price will continue its downside movement, at least to the internal support level. There is also a possibility that the price will continue its downside movement after passing an internal level and continue its movement to the main support level, since the price here also has a good potential for a decline. So friends, let's wait for the end of our first deal. Let's see what kind of result we will get. Well, it's not bad friends. The price really continued its downside movement to the main support level, from which in turn there was a logical pull back up. Also, this indicator gave us a good entry point and helped us to determine further price movements. Well, a good start. Let's continue to look for a similar situation in the market. Friends, we are on the same currency pair after a while. We also see that at the moment after the pullback, the price has turned around. There are outgoing movements. The price moves certainly impulsively down. We also pay attention to our indicator. It tells us that the downside movement is expected in the near future. In this situation, I propose to open a deal for 1 minute to decrease because at the moment the price is already starting to go beyond the support level. That is, at the moment there is a breakdown of the level, so I think that in the near future the price will still fall for some time, since the price also has a good potential for a decline. I think that in this situation 1 minute will be quite enough, and so friends, let's wait for the end of our deal. Quite well friends, as you can see the price continued its downward movement and we got a great profit. 1 minute was quite enough and the indicator suggested a good entry point. While everything is going well, let's continue to look for the next situation in the market. Here we also see that there was a good certain downtrend. The price touched the support level and pulled back up and got into pro trade. I think that in this situation in the near future the price will continue its downside movement. As the price highs got lower, the price is more likely to fall. I also pay attention to our indicator. It suggests that there is an entry point. I propose open a deal for 2 minutes for a decrease. I think that in this situation this time will be quite enough. So friends, let's wait for the end of our deal. Well, it's not bad. The price continued its downward movement and we got profit. 2 minutes was quite enough. Also, this indicator suggested a good entry point and helped to determine the further price movement. Let's continue to look for a similar situation in the market. Here we also see that there was a good and certain uptrend. The price touched the resistance level and there was a pullback down. And after the pullback, the price again approaches our level. I also pay attention to our indicator, which tells us that an upward movement is expected in the near future. I propose to open a deal for 2 minutes to increase. I think that this level will be broken in the near future, because the price also has a good potential to increase. The price approached this level for the second time in the last 5 minutes with a fairly certain good green impulse candle. For 2 minutes, also with a margin, taking into account that some kind of pro-trading may occur or a slight pullback is possible. After that, the upward movement is sure to continue at this level. And this level is more likely to be broken. So friends, let's wait for the end of our deal. Well, quite well friends, the price continued its upward movement, this level was broken and we get a gorgeous profit. 2 minutes was also enough, and the indicator in turn suggested a good entry point and helped to determine further price movements. Everything is going great. Let's continue. Here we see a good uptrend. We also see that at the moment our level is being squeezed. I also pay attention to the indicator that tells us that an upside movement is expected in the near future. In this situation, I suggest opening a deal for 1 minute to increase. I think that very soon this level will be broken. 1 minute in this situation will be quite enough. Since there is an obvious compression, the price also has a good potential for an increase. So friends, let's wait for the end of our deal. Well friends, quite well. The price really continued its upside movement. This level was broken through. We get a great profit. The indicator also suggested a good entry point. Well, let's continue to find the next entry point. Here we see the resistance level, and at the moment there is a compression of our level. The indicator also suggested there is an entry point. In this situation, I suggest opening a deal for 1 minute to increase. I think that this level is more likely to be broken. Since the price here also has a good potential for an increase, also note that this situation reminds us of the past entry point. So friends, let's wait for the end of our deal. Well friends, it's not bad. As you can see, all market situations are always repeated. Also in this situation, the exact same breakdown of this level has been occurred. The prices surely went up and we got a great profit. Also, this indicator suggested a good entry point and helped to determine the further price movement. Let's move on to the next situation. So friends, here we also have a similar situation. We also see that there was a good confident uptrend and at the moment the price is already starting to break through the resistance level. The indicator also tells us that there is an entry point. In this situation, I propose to open a deal to increase literally for 1 minute. I think that we will get into the most impulsive price movement. So to speak, breaking through the level itself, and 1 minute in this situation will be quite enough. So friends, let's wait for the end of our deal. Not bad. After a little pro-trading, the upside movement continued and we managed to close our deal in profit. 1 minute was enough. Also, this indicator gave us a good entry point. Everything is going great. Let's move on to the next situation. So friends, here at the bottom we have a support level. We also see that there was a good confident downside movement here, after which there was an upside pullback, and after some pro-trading the price continues its downside movement again. In this situation, I suggest opening a deal for 3 minutes on the downside. I think that in the near future the price will continue its downside movement to the main support level. Since the price here also has a good potential to decrease, the price highs are getting lower and lower, there is a certain compression. I also pay attention to our indicator. We see that it has been moving down for some time. Well friends, let's wait for the end of our deal. Well, it's not bad, friends. After a little pro trade, the price continued its downside movement and the sub-level of support was fixed. We get profit. Also, pay attention to the point of our indicator. This is the error. Since there was a pro trade, the price moved up and down, so the indicator showed us the entry point. Just the same in this situation. It wouldn't be worth trusting this point in this situation. A downside movement clearly prevails. Well, let's continue to consider the following market situations. We also see that the downtrend was good. The price highs are getting lower and lower. There is a certain compression. Also, our indicator tells us that there is an entry point and at the moment it is moving confidently down to the support level. There are still places. There is also a slight pullback up. This is a good point to open the deal for a decline. Let's go literally for 2 minutes. I think that in this situation this time will be quite enough and the price will continue its movement to this level. And so let's wait for the end of our deal. Well, quite good, friends. The price really continued its downside movement to the support level. We get a confident profit. Also, this indicator gave us a good entry point and helped us to determine the further price movement. Everything is going great. I suggest we continue to consider the following market situation. We also see that there was a good uptrend after the pullback down. The price continued its upside movement to the resistance level, which is much higher. I also pay attention to our indicator. It tells us that an upside movement is expected in the near future, and since there are still places to the resistance level, I suggest opening a deal for an increase of 2 minutes. I think that in the near future the price will continue its upside movement, and in this situation 2 minutes will be quite enough. And so, friends, let's wait for the end of our deal. Well, it's quite good. Price continued its upside movements and we get profit. 2 minutes was just enough. This indicator also helped us to determine further price movements. While everything is going well, let's continue to consider the following market situation. There is a support level. We also see that there was a good downtrend touching this level. The price pulled back up and after the pullback, the price continued its downside movement again. Also, I pay attention to our indicator. It tells us that a downside movement is expected in the near future. Also, price highs are getting lower and some kind of compression occurs. In this situation, I propose to open a deal for 2 minutes for a decrease. Since there is a still place to the support level, I think that in the near future the price will continue its downside movement, and it is also possible that this level will be broken because the price also has a good potential for a decline. So friends, let's wait for the end of our deal. Quite well, friends. The price really continued its downside movement and this level was broken. We get a profit. 2 minutes was enough, and the indicator also helped us to determine further price movements. I propose to continue to open the last deal for today. Now I will find the suitable situation in the market. We will continue with you. We also see that there is a resistance level at the top. There is also a support level at the bottom. The price is moving in this range from level to level. The price has fallen into a certain price range and is moving in this corridor at the moment. The price is at the support level, so I suggest opening a deal with a margin of 5 minutes for a decrease, since the price is more likely to continue its downside movement from this level. I also pay attention to our indicator, which tells us that the downside movement is expected in the near future and the resistance level is quite strong, unlike the support level. Therefore, in this situation a pullback is more likely to occur, but I will open a deal for 5 minutes with a margin, taking into account that there may be some kind of pro trade, some sideways moment, so to speak, accumulation of flat with this calculation. We open a deal for 5 minutes with a large margin, so friends, let's wait for the end of our deal. Well, friends, a rather dangerous moment. We still close our deal in profit. As you can see, our indicator suggested a good entry point. There really was some kind of pro trading in the process of this trading. This price moved up and down, and naturally the indicator in this situation also showed us entry points for a decrease, for an increase, but in this situation these signals can be considered an error. And of course, not to take them into account, but still after some accumulation the price has surely gone down and we get profit with you. 5 minutes was just enough. I have $30,000 on my deposit already, So I suggest that I finish and leave the market because I fulfilled my plan for today. The market situation also worked out perfectly. The indicator helped to determine good entry points and further price movements. Thank you for watching this video. Put a big thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, and also if you still have any questions, you can just comment down below. The link of the safe broker on which I was trading today will be in description box. So guys, see you next time.